What are your thoughts about blockchain? So I'm kind of interested in this. I think I'm reading about blockchains. No, there's always been a tie-up with blockchains in real estate, right? I think before the last bubble or crash in crypto, there were talks and companies of saying, "Hey, why don't we put Ethereum smart contracts for your residential contract? Why do you have to have this paper copy? Just put it on the blockchain. It's immutable, 100%, like all title could be on blockchain, right? So we don't even need title records and microfiche when you go to the assessor's office, right? It could be there. But what are your thoughts about that with what we're doing? Because we might want to put development on the blockchain, right? And Ethereum contracts or Cardano contracts or what have you, and you're able to be a part owner of a development where there's no fraud, there's no money laundering, it's 100% transparent, and it's so easy to do, if that makes sense, right? So what are your thoughts about that?
I don't personally know anything much or know much about blockchain or anything like that. I think I own like zero point 0.1 Ethereum, but the way you
Well,
talk
congrats,
about
it's up. It's like
yeah, it's going
2100.
up. Yeah. But if the fact that it's a lot safer like that, I think makes it less risky and that would cause more people to get involved. And it's always better to have more people involved. Like development goes faster and everything like that. So I think it's definitely a benefit.
Agreed. Yeah. Anyone
Yeah, I can't
else?
I can't say I know much about blockchain either, but is it regulated by the government?
Yeah, good question. So right now, I think it's not. SEC kind of, it's a football. They tossed it out and they said, hey, it's something we should address, yada, yada. Now with this new kind of rise in altcoins and everything, DeFi, NFTs, you got all this stuff going on. They're now addressing it. But I just feel, Janet Yellen, who used to be the Fed president before, she's now the, Treasury secretary. And she said something a couple months ago, which I shake my head. She was just like, "Oh, Bitcoin was used for money laundering and drug dealing." And I'm like, "What?" Like maybe in the early days, right? But like, no, it's legitimate. You have Tesla, you could buy Teslas with Bitcoin. They even,
Hmm.
Tesla invested $1 billion in Bitcoin, I think last September at that price point. They've already made more money on their Bitcoin investment than they've ever made in their profit margin selling cars since their existence. So that's the power of
That's insane.
cryptocurrency.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think you're right. Like, the thing with us, that's a good point, Conrad, is if Brickwork wants to kind of delve in this, and we have developers and investors pulling our reports, right, or being getting exposed to our reports, they might want to invest in that project that me and Anahi are working on, right? For this partner, and go, hey, I want to help you guys. It might just be an easy way for someone foreign to go, here's, I'll invest. How are you going to run the investment? It's on an Ethereum contract. Great. How is that going to be off Ethereum coins, or is it going to be off a crypto that you guys create that's built on top of Ethereum? Yeah, sure. Then it was a quick and easy way. But the governance is what's concerning is, okay, well, for tax purposes, right? IRS, are they gonna, because if you do real estate development on the blockchain, it'll literally be the SEC because of the whole investor, you're taking investment, and then IRS for taxes, and then the state or the municipality accepting the ownership in the LLC for the title, right? And so you have all of these people that have a say in whether it's legitimate or not, but without that kind of like sense of security, we still aren't going to be able to do it. But I just do it out there because I'm a big fan of crypto, and I actually do have a healthy chunk of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and stuff. And I'm interested in the whole NFT thing. And I just, obviously, I'm not, maybe Anahi, outside of Anahi, musicians getting funded on NFT, I think is great, right? Their records, their career could be all NFT. That's amazing. But I'm more like, well, how do we put that in a real estate deal, right? Like, how do we get something built again for good purposes? Like we're talking about rents, and Eric's mentioning people moving to Denver and Texas for, they could get twice the square footage and for the same price. How do we then create a solution for them so they don't have to leave, right? And so what kind of creates that ability to bring the cost down for development? So I agree. Erik said ADU is the biggest solution, and that's why we've been focused on that. I mean, what better way to get a unit than it's in your house already? Yeah, you could put a modular build on there, but it practically takes about a month or two to get approved and done versus a bigger development that'll take probably a course of a full year.
Yeah, I think that's another one thing that I'm interested in is what other companies are kind of like what you mentioned, like if it's possible to do, contracts like Ethereum contracts, and obviously Tesla is doing, Bitcoin and stuff like that. What other companies are doing that sort of thing, and, to what extent? And also, if we had a brick coin, I wouldn't complain about that either. That'd be pretty sweet.
Conrad, so after this, we need to talk because I've been wanting, you don't understand how many bookmarks I have. I should share my screen. How to start an ICO off of Cardano is Ethereum. The gas fees are too expensive, so Cardano is a better solution for that. Like, there's all these like nuance, but why don't we have a brickwork coin? Why don't? But we really want that. Here's my thoughts on that is I want that to be more of a leverage or a solution for affordable housing. Does that make sense? Because there's plenty of people like you guys talked about, Hailey talked about, near USC's campus. Why is the housing so expensive? Those developers are building luxury student housing, luxury housing for students. It just doesn't make any sense to me, right? And so I just feel maybe we create a brickwork coin and allow for other investors to help offset some of the development costs for future gain, or they just might want to just do it, right? Just be like, we want to be a part of the change for Los Angeles or California, so we'll just do it. So again, I think I would want to use it for those purposes, is to really green light projects that are going to affect the community in a good way, which multiple ways you could do it, but for sure, number one is keeping the rents low, right? Like, you cannot alienate, the neighbors and the community.
An entire portion of the market.
Yeah.